So I just want to rig this butterfly modeled by Maddie and Yuli together. So first thing, I just want to clean up this geo. I would like that we can combine or unify tentacles and eyes and the body together. Shift right click and booleans and unity. So they all become one object. I delete the history, and so like they have been unified, but you need that, you see that like the topology is not right. So let's say here the polygons doesn't flow. So just retopologize it with a default. If you go and reset it with a default setup, it should be all right. It's 1,000 polygons. Oh, that's too low. Maybe shift right click, retopologize, maybe 2,000 polygons. But what you will get is this nice transition, like you see like how nicely things has been going through. So like the geometry is nice and clean now. So that is the body. I like the wings to be separated. So because they behave separately. Why I have unified the body but not the wings? Because I was just looking at some butterfly references like this. So actually you see that the wings are kind of like, there are 4 different elements. Oh, look at this one. These are actually very good references for animations. I was thinking that like wings are rigid, but now I see that they're very like cloth-like. They're very soft and flexible, especially to look at the end of it. Damn, it's gorgeous. So I am thinking of the same thing. So that's why I start to just like separate. Actually, if I select it and shift right click and click on separate, I would get 4 separate pieces. So I could say this is wing right top, wing right bottom, wing left top LT, wing left bottom. So, and these are wings. So I've got wings, I've got my body, so let's start rigging. Let's assign actually it's good to assign. So at the moment these wings, they don't have a UV. If I go to the UV, I don't see any UV on them. But what I can do, I can select all of them, shift right click, mapping, and I project a UV from top, from Y angle. So you see that it gets a UV projected in the UV space. Let me see if I assign that. So I'm going to assign a shader on them, and the shader is, I assign the same shader on all of them, like just a basic Lambert at the moment, and delete the history. Make sure Lambert, look at the same spot on K drive. Where was it? Butterfly. There's this map. Why it doesn't show anything? It's already been applied. It must show something. I don't spend too much time at the moment. It's just like make sure. Let's see if a surface shader with the texture could do the job for me. I have no idea why it doesn't show. Anyway, I just carry on rigging at the moment, so let me just add a cylinder or a sphere and assign that shader to its existing Lambert 2. Oh, okay, it doesn't show on anything.
Yeah, I tried to do it the other day, it didn't work either.
Maybe a bug or something. It definitely comes in the rendering. But not in the scene. Render viewport reset. Wow. Alright. No idea. Anyway, there's something wrong there. So let's start rigging. I would like to see the body like a worm. And these, so like if, what's the center of the body for a butterfly? I could say that this is the center, kind of like around the chest is the center for the body. That's the part that everything moves around it, circles around it. So I use that as the center. Then I think of these as arms. Okay, so I'm actually looking at a worm with 4 arms. Okay. Then if I look at this way, I can do a better rigging. We'll apply different scenarios to see how it works. So let's start using mGear. So this time there's no template for a butterfly. So that's why I just bring Guide Manager. And I can start with a or you can start with a, think of it as a, that's a crazy thing, but like just to have something for the base, think of it as a dog. Add a template for a quadruped and remove everything. Let's say why I did that. Actually, the butterfly direction should be towards the positive z. And I'm going to make sure that all the transformation are 0 on the body and the wings. Yeah. So the reason is that I want to use this center point. This center point is very interesting for me, this hip and then the chest. So I would delete all the limbs and the shoulders, and the eyes and the mouth and everything. So, but I keep the neck and the head. Is that neck? Yeah. So I keep that. So these ones, so just this like center, what's that? I think that one's gonna, I should have not deleted that one on top. Yeah. Or maybe I just get rid of all of that. Yeah. No, I'm gonna keep that because at some point you just may want the head to move around. So I delete this eye instead, and the mouth, and the eye look, but I keep the head UI and also the neck and everything, and effect there. And this is also for the spine UI. I move it down. Okay, so I have like kind of a root that can be landed on the body. So this is what is that one? Okay, that's the local root, so which could go down, and this is the body root, which as we have discussed, it could come here. So I'm going to hide wings at the moment because we are dealing with the body. I just go on shading and X-ray. That's going to be helpful too. So that's wing. Chest going to be on here. Head going to be, so I can turn off the object selection mask by just clicking here, so any object cannot be selected. Alt spacebar. That is the chest. This is the neck, as it says. And these are all related to the neck. And that one is for the head. Oh, actually that one should go down there, and this one should return back here. And this is also the end of the neck, and this is just the head. Okay. So, oh, this butterfly is not centered. I make sure that I make it like 100% centered, and freeze the transformation one more time. and modify center pivot for that. Okay, so now I want to add tentacles. So for them, I would consider a chain, but a chain spring. So each one of these, like if you look at the mGear help, you will see like each one of these would do something for us. So like a basic. So I select that, maybe this joint. Or no, just the head. Why not? I select that last one and then I create a chain for it. And I add like 6 parts. The direction gonna be in X direction. And spacing should be like very tiny. Okay, that was too tiny, but that's fine. You see that when I created that, it gets this, so you can call it tentacle. And you can say that this is the right one, tentacle right root. Because when you do that, you can duplicate symmetry and create the left one later on. What I do, just at the moment, I delete both of them, both the left one and the right one. Maybe I just double click on it. 5 or 6 in X direction. Okay. And it's gonna be, it's left basically, not right, sorry. And then so the UI that's gonna hold this, I would select this UI to hold the information for that tentacle. I would go and rotate it and start to shape it properly. Actually, I move this away slightly, like from here, and then move this up, and then that one, move that down, move that down. Okay, looks neat. See if I can, oh, not neat yet. See if I can duplicate the symmetry for that. It does duplicate the symmetry. Don't worry if you don't see the shoulder, like kind of that one as big as this one. Actually, it's there. Let's go for the wings. For the wings, I would like to use, I'm going to use chain spline 2. Actually, there's some information here. Chain is just a basic It's just like a simple IK-FK chain, okay? But spline comes with a spline-driven. So this one has some extra tweaks in it. Spline variable IK-FK. Chain spring is the one with a, okay, I'm gonna use chain spring that can master a light stack chain. Okay, chain spring, that's the one I would like to use for the wings. This one was a basic chain with a FK IK. The reason that I wanted FK so you can grab from the tip of it and animate that. I add chain spring for the wings and I call it wing left top. It's gonna be on left. It's gonna, so the attribute for that, so do you see this one? It's called spine UI. Actually, this is just a UI. It's just a box, or at the end it will turn into a kind of a cross sign. It's just like a holder that holds information. I would like to hold the information for the wings on that one. Actually, let me just move it to the properly middle. You don't need to keep it on the middle because you know, in human it's better to be on side, but this one I think I would like to keep it on top here. So then I say that instead of head UI that was for the tentacles, this UI is the one that hosts the settings for that. So I select it and click on that and it grabs it. So it's going to be on left and it's going to have where are other? Oh, sorry. I was adjusting the settings for the chain, right? Yeah. So I was adjusting the settings for already created tentacles. I call it tentacle, if I'm right with the spelling, which is right, okay, left, right, cool. This one will be tentacle left, duplicate symmetry. Okay, I've got tentacle right. Okay, so I have not, so I should double click on this first. Okay, there you are. So I get like, I don't want to overcomplicate it. I just want to think how many joints I might need. So 1, 2, I might just get like 1 joint here, 1 here, 1 here, 2, and 3, and 4. I think 4 joints would do the job for me. It has this delicate movement. I wish I had 2 strings in it, but I think I would go and make it very complicated. I just go with 1 string with 4. Let's get back to Maya. With 4 sections that goes in X direction, which is the left, and the spacing 1 is fine. I press OK. it just gets generated with this name that says this is a chain spring. Okay. I would go. Oh, sorry. I should have selected the right joint before generating it. I have selected tentacle, and it's inside a tentacle. So like, no, I don't want it to be inside the tentacle. This wing is supposed to be here around the neck, well, around the hypothetical neck of the butterfly. The other one would be around hip, like, you know, root joints. Or what if both of them would be attached to the spine? So if this spine moves, oh yes, that's the right one. I want both of them to be attached to the spine. So it's going to be a chain attached to the spine. I select the spine and double click on it. 4 pieces in X direction. Yeah, you see that it just generated in the right. And the UI would be spine UI as it is. And it's not centered. It's actually left. And it's called, not called chain spring, it's called wing top left, or wing top, because it adds the left and right by itself here. Automatically adds it. So, okay, that's a nice setup for a wing that and that one goes here, that one goes here. Maybe this one has a bit of rotation, and last one. Nice, I like it. Let me see if it's landed on the right. Yeah. So if that doesn't behave properly as we might expect, we can always go back and delete it and add a different type of component. So I duplicate symmetry, that one. I get the other one. But that other one, so this is the beauty of this character. It's asymmetrical. So the other wing has an asymmetrical kind of proportions. Okay, I add another chain spring, but this time again I go back, select the spine, and then host another chain spring and call it 4 pieces. Actually, these bottom ones, maybe we go 5, and then we compare it. Add it. It's added. It's not called chain spring. It's wing bottom. It's on the left. The host UI is the spine UI. Yes, everything is all right. And it starts from here. Okay, nice. I duplicate symmetry, that one, and adjust it. Okay, so let's see what, so I have done like some basic things out of components. Let's see what we get. I select the guide route. I'm gonna save this as a new file on my desktop. Version 1. And then I would run a build from selection. Okay. I get this complicated break that I can, so you just hide the guide, don't delete it. Once you are 100% sure that this is exactly what you want, then delete it. So this, about joints, you can say that don't show the joints to me at the moment. So this tentacles, they are just a simple IK, but you can turn them into spring chain intensity. Yeah, let me see, let me bring the joints so I can see that. Okay, I'm gonna grab the root, maybe this one, bring it up and analyze it. I have like kind of spine in that middle, some spine movements, and that one, and this is kind of for, I probably don't need many of it, but this is for spine structure. What I need is this, which is overall. But what about wings? So wings can be animated like easy like that with the first FK. However, I've got this chain string intensity, which we can turn on, and then I get a bit of dynamics on the wings. So once they have animated, I can get dynamics on the tip of them. So you can combine both. So actually, if I turn off the spring, you know, you get like it just adjusts to the 0. My point is, can I get an IK on these ones? So let's see. If I'm going to turn on the mGear viewport and I'm going to turn off the joints, so see if I right click on these, select host, right click, it does just flipping and mirroring. So it's basically a simple, it's just a simple FK. I wish instead of, I would have used, so this is just like a simple FK. If you want to just make the tentacles do a rolling kind of effect, you can just select like these ones one by one, and then roll them like kind of, you know, animate this way. But I could have used chain spring instead of simple chain. I could have used chain spring for them too. So let's rig it. Let's skin it and see if it fits. Oh, what happened? Okay, I'm gonna hide joints. We just see, so select here, click on the deformers, up arrow, down arrow, press down arrow, and then select all the geo that you have, which is wings and the, actually I don't want the wings to impact. So I want these, okay, let's skin them step by step, just by ourselves. So we have these wing, so we have this spine. So let's go and show the joints. Actually, what I want to see is just joints. I press Control 1 on keyboard, so to see just joints. And then display, maybe animation, joint size, smaller, yeah. And then I would like to include the butterfly body into it, which I just right click here and say add selected objects. So so for the body, it's just spine and all the spine and neck and tentacles up to here. Then I shift select the body. So I can hold Control and select the body. So then I go to the F3 skin, bind skin. So a simple, not closest distance, like maybe a heat map or a geodesic voxel, but I don't go for such high resolution, just quick resolution, and selected joints for the body would work. So you saw that it was fast. So, but what about the wings? This wing actually just these 4 joints, this one and that one and that one and that one. These 4 joints and this wing. Hang on, I'm going to turn on this selection. Okay, we just do the same skinning here, F3, skinning, bind skin, because the setup is already set to that. And these ones, okay. With that, skin, bind skin. And these ones with that skin, bind skin. And these ones with that wing. Okay, let's test it. I'm going to hide the joints. And Control 1, bring back everything. We have our, so if we animate from here, what about this? Okay. Oh, why the wings are not coming? They have a skin cluster, and they are Okay, let's see what happened to the wings. Joints. I am going to unbind them to make sure that, okay, these joints here, this one and this one and this one and this one is supposed to move that wing, skin, bind skin, selected joints. Okay, probably geodesic voxeling is not working, so I go to the closest distance because it's not a closed geometry, it's just a flat geometry. That's my guess. So I go to the closest distance and I probably bind that, and yeah, so that was the reason. So let's carry on. Show nothing but the joints and the polygons. Apply. 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 Show everything except joints. Grab it, move it, it works. So yeah, I should have not used geodesic voxeling is for closed surfaces. Those are open surfaces, like flat surfaces. That's why just a basic closest point would work. So how can I animate the wings? So I can animate the wings by just selecting these ones and animate them together. So that one goes up, that one, okay. This is a bit of a challenge. So I want these two together, not to move sliding on top of each other, but E and move to the word setup. So I use, so for animating those, I use, you hold E on keyboard and press, and instead of object, use word. Word means like everything together in the word view. So they can move like that. So let's do a test animation. So actually, could I have selected these? No. But one keyframe here. One keyframe here. Auto key is on. 10 frames. Okay, I would go and add, I grab that and paste it at 20 and do the same thing for object selection off, so I don't select them accidentally. I would, yep, that would actually keyframe, copy and paste it at 20. Now if I select all of these four I can copy and paste these two. Let's see the speed of it. If I make sure that playback speed real time. Okay, it's very mechanical at the moment. I can stretch the movement actually to make it more dramatic if the keyframes are, so just hold shift, drag it, stretch it. Okay, so that's for the wings, but like the whole body could move like right up and just like maybe okay. Delete that. Ah, damn. This happens sometimes when things go wrong. Maya goes crazy. Okay, fixed it. So comes high up, looks forward, then goes back up, looks more forward. Okay, so now see if I can activate the string for it. So the string attributes were on here. If I activate it, chain a string, I'm gonna make it very less stiff, like 2%. Okay, there's something wrong with my, I know what's happening, but I can adjust the, so you see that stiffness, and there's one damping in that middle. I don't know what's doing there, but like, let's see. That's too much. Sorry. Ah, yeah. Okay. Now, if I would be creative, I start playing around with these tentacles. So, which I am. So at the beginning, I would like them to be curled in. So let's look at our references and see how tentacles are behaving. They're actually much more. They try to hold them stiff. I hold them more stiff than the wings. So I select all of them, actually one by one. All the. I wish I would have created less joints here. You see, I added 6, so I should have been wiser. Press a keyframe here. See if I can curl them in. Oh, why they are. I think the skinning is not right. We have to fix the skinning here. So how? You bring the joints. You say, show me nothing except my joints and my polygon. And then you select your polygon. And here, you select it, and you right-click and say, Paint Skin Weight Tool. And then you select these, right-click on these. So right-click on these, each one of them, until it shows not the edge, but shows the select influence. So when you select the influence, you see, oh, it's black. It should not be black. It should show some color here. So you start adding kind of values to your tentacle. So that's one. Smooth it. Then go to the add. Then the second one. Right click until you get the select influence. If you don't see it, it's oh. Because the geometry has been too small, it didn't work very well. But that's okay. We can go to the bind pose. How we do it. Make sure your auto key is off. Bring your synaptic. Damn, I don't want to see it. I want my menu. Bring your synaptic view and tell that I want to be in bind pose. It takes you to the bind pose. Nice and neat. Go back and select your body and tell I suck that skinning, so I just want to unbind it and I want to skin it again. So you select whatever belongs to the body, which is all the tentacles and spine plus the body. And probably this time we use a simple, not geodesic. Geodesic did a terrible job there. We just selected joint and closest distance, just the classic skinning. Apply. You probably get a, if I go and show the nerve curves, you probably get a better result, but like you get this like terrible consequences around the edges. So that's why you just select this, apply. Also, I'm going to do that for the wings too. I am going to apply a nice delta mesh to everything with about 20 iterations. 20 iterations. Oh no. I should have not applied delta mesh to the wings, but I just applied to the body then. Delta mesh to the body with 20 or 30 iterations. Okay. So let's look at the animation one more time. I'm not going to look at the joints. Make sure everything works fine. The animation works fine. I was busy with the tentacles. I would like them to be curled in at the beginning. and also these ones. And when the butterfly rises up, I want them to be curled out from within the oh, that's cute. What frame I was? I should go like to, oh, I lost it anyway. I go to like frame 90, which is the end of my animation, and I make sure that auto key is on. The reason that I lost it, it was because the auto key was not on. Okay. Let's look at the tentacles, have an eye on it. I can say show not neb curves, don't show the grid as well. And Alt B in the background. Oh, actually, that's not bad background. Do they animate? Do they move? No. Ah, that's weird. I have animated them, but I think, okay, so I'm gonna do it again. So I will finish it in few minutes and show you how to send me play blast once you're done with your rigging. And so any good rigging, so how to make sure that your rigging is good. Hand it to everybody in your team and ask them to animate. Everybody in your team must animate. Animating is a time-consuming job. Once we get there, everybody should be involved. They animate it, they send you feedback. They tell you, okay, so it works very well in this part, but doesn't do a good job on that part. So then that's how you realize, okay, so what's working, what's not working. So I'm going to look at those tentacles and keep an eye on it and just see like, oh, yeah, they're rising up. Okay, how can I make a play blast and send it to Hossein? Just right-click here, a preview movie. Play blast means a preview movie. Right-click on your timeline, go to the options. Make sure you say that you're going to save it as QuickTime. And it's going to be MPEG-4 codec. Quality 50% is nice. Scale 1. Save to the file and find the spot that you want to save it. Let's say I call it butterfly test version 1 done by Hossein, and play blast. Then it goes through that. It creates a movie on where you just set. This is the movie. You see that? You just drag and drop it into your weekly report or send it to me actually better to drag and drop it in your channel. Okay, let's look at and review it one last time. I think I'm happy with, but I'm not happy with the that part. So, you know, from now on, it's all about bug fixing and adjusting things.